Hello, today we are going to be making a picture of a fish, but we're going to do this kind of cool added feature of the fish to make it even larger than it seems. So what you're going to need is a piece of paper, preferably not in a sketchbook or a notebook, so rip it out, make sure you have a nice piece of paper. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our paper and we're going to fold it in half. So I'm taking my finger and I'm just pushing along the fold. It's okay if it's not like perfect. Just try your best. So now you're going to take this first flap and you're going to fold back. All right. Now you're going to flip it over. Take the other flap and fold it down. Oops. So you should have it kind of like this, almost like a little paper airplane, but it's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the end and we're just going to lay it down so it looks like this. So it looks like you have this side and this side. But when you open it up, it's something else. Okay, so we're going to lay it like this. This is what we're going to draw on. So we're going to draw in a fish. So just think of this is the halfway line, so you should have half of it on the bottom, half of it on the top. So let's go ahead and draw kind of the body. And draw the other part of the body. I didn't close it off because I want to add the tail. Add the other side. Then I'm going to add in the mouth. Alright, now that I have that, then we can start adding the other details. So let's add in the fin on the top. And your fish can look completely different from mine in terms of like what it looks like. Mine is more like a goldfish. Right? And then I'm going to add in a fin. So like a football shape. I'm going to add in the gills. I'm going to add in another fin back here. Alright, so we have our fish and what he looks like. We can add in an eye. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our flap that we have and we're going to open it up. And so what you should have is the top of your fish and the bottom of your fish. And what we're going to do is kind of finish off our fish. So we're going to make him nice and big. Now I might change his mouth a little bit. So I think I'm going to have his mouth come out. And bring it together. Like he's a big guppy. Let's swallow something whole. Connect my gills. Then I'm going to add in, you can add in teeth if you want. And then you can add in, I'm going to add in some scales. You can add in more details of the tail. You could even, now that we have our fish all spread out, you could even put like maybe another fish in here. Like he's about to eat another fish, or it could be a person or a ship, like a submarine. You could also add in maybe some bubbles. You could add in, you know, other things that us in the scene. So what your final drawing should be is on the outside, if we fold it back together, we have this sweet little innocent fish. And then when we open it up, he's a mean looking fish. All right. So from this step, we're going to outline, and then we're going to do some coloring. For color, I'm going to use a variety of mediums. I'm going to use some crayons, some markers, and I may even use some watercolor. Now, you can use whatever you want to use to color it in. Just keep it consistent. Meaning, if I was to fold this up, this and this side are going to be similar. So if I do crayon on the fish, I'm going to do crayon on the entire fish. So just make sure you're keeping it consistent. So I've chose a few different colors for my fish. I like to have a little bit of a variety so that he's just not one color. And then I'm going to start coloring. So he's like a goldfish for my fish. So I'm going to take my other colors and I'm going to add some to the scales. Kind of change them up so they're not all the same color. So when you're coloring, try to mix some colors up. You know, don't always use just the flat color. Try to add some other colors to make it lighter or darker. Just give it some more flair. Next, I'm gonna do some painting in the background and then I'll be all set. Alright, so I just have my paper on top of my sketchbook so I don't paint on my table. And I'm gonna find some blue. I'm gonna take some purple too, so make like a blue violet. Really like using the paint to fill in the background for a lot of the drawings, just because it's quicker. If you don't have watercolor, you can buy it pretty cheap at like the dollar store, or even any store really has it super cheap. And it lasts a long time because you're just using water to add to it. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry and then it'll be done.